Welcome to Micro Arabia, a new map for Age of Empires 4 created by none other than the magician himself, Mr. Merlin. Make sure you check him out on YouTube. Big shout out to him for making this crazy map. And I say crazy because if you haven't seen it before, well, let me introduce it to you. It's basically Dry Arabia, but it's micro. You see, going across the map, it's not very far that you'll see your opponent. Speaking of which, it's going to be BLB playing in yellow as the Holy Roman Empire up against his pal, Devil's Hurricane in green, playing as the Chinese. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Micro Arabia, where I'm sure we're going to be seeing huge amounts of shenanigans. I am back with a bang. Well, I've been away a little bit from Age of Empires 4, you may have noticed. I've been here and thereabouts, but hopefully I'll be back. It depends on really what you people feel like you will enjoy this or not. I don't know. Who knows? We shall find out. I mean, I think this kind of new map will be shaking things up, keeps things fresh. It's something different. So big shout out for Mr. Merlin for doing that. We do see the scouts going up against each other, a little bit of harassment, seeing what is available. Now, talking about the map and the spawn, you can see the town centers being right to the edge of the map, means there's no kind of hiding. All the resources essentially forward, apart from maybe a stone pile here for BLB. Got his gold on the front lines as well, and also the deer. So very aggressive. Boar being aggroed by Arakan, making BLB run away with his scout. So early aggression could be a thing. Now I have to say, with this civilization matchup on this map, it's a bit of a tricky one to see how this will play out. Well, certainly the Barbican of the Sun will be helpful for the Chinese and Arakan, giving him some sort of a defensive stronghold if he decides to use it that way. But I mean, could see a Barbican drop. That could be interesting because, of course, the Holy Roman Empire, you do not want them to be going fast castle, which is a real possibility on this map. He's on deer already. Doesn't have survival techniques, decided against it, but he's got gold being inspired, food being inspired. This is absolutely crazy for HRE. I was told that these two players did actually go for random civilizations. So, you know, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. And this cookie is not a very big cookie. It's very micro. Speaking of cookies, now I need you to tell me, guys, what's your favorite brand of cookies? Let me know in the comment section below. I have to say, I am partial to some Marylands. It depends which country you're from. So let me know firstly, which country you're from, or what's your favorite type of cookies? Give me the name. I've got to check them out. I'm sure there's going to be some wild suggestions out there, different flavors and who knows what not. You guys in the Age of Empires 4 community keeping things fresh. We see the Arkan Chapel going on the front of the base. Well, I mean, it can't really go anywhere else. Potentially go here for the berries and the stone and the wood, but it's going to go here for the deer pack. Of course, this acts as a food and wood, well, anything drop-off point. So that'll be certainly useful for the deer and the wood there. And it is going to be a forward Barbican push for Arakan. You can see BLB pushing that back already with villagers. This is going to be absolutely insane and huge. Can he deny this? That's going to be a key bit of detail. There are sacred sites on the map, 3 of them, and this is right on top of one. It's goodbye Arakan, a lot of opportunity and map control. If he can get it up, does he have textiles? That is the question. He doesn't. Arakan doesn't have textiles, but he still gets it up. Of course, the Chinese building very, very fast, and that's going to be a huge deal to deal with. BLB needs to maybe relocate this Arkan Chapel. I'm not sure this goes up. He might have to delete this and cancel it. He's got to place it elsewhere, and he might actually be placing it down here in the end anyway. We did talk about this could be a potential position, and I think he's kind of forced into it. But holy smokes, now this is what this map is great for. It encourages that early aggression, and he's going to place it further back. But, I mean, whilst this does give him a lot of map control, the HRE can chew through these resources as well, which is a bit of an issue because, of course, he needs to be able to expand out a little bit earlier than, say, the Chinese would. The Chinese having the Imperial Official means that he'll be getting more resources being dropped off, and so it doesn't necessarily chew through them faster, but does get more for each drop-off. And that's a good start here for Arakan. Let's just see what BLB has in his locker. They're going to be running out of wood. That's a huge position. Now, I did say that the Holy Roman Empire could be strong on this map, but take a look at this forward Barbican drop. We did kind of allude to it possibly happening. But, you know, it's quite incredible what he's done here. There's another ball being lured here. I suspect that is for Arakan. Yeah, trying to bring that in, I think. Although maybe it's just aggroed there. BLB now losing his scout is not ideal. Now this will have to certainly mean that he's going to have a bit more aggression on his cards here for the Holy Roman Empire. He's going to need to get an early siege engineering to push this back. But the good thing for his favour is with the prelate, no doubt, going to be going into this Arkan Chapel at some point. Wait, did he lose the prelate? Holy moly, he actually lost the prelate, I think. Yeah, it's going to need to train another one. Hopefully he remembers to do so. He's going to get an outpost on the deer pack. Not a bad option. Looks like that's going to be the play. He's going to have to build those outposts on the further aspects of the map, the deer camp. Would be nice to see outposts coming in from Arakan though, as a follow-up. Doesn't really have the wood for that. Is in the feudal age himself. Maybe looking to get some Jugnus, starting off with some archers in the first instance. Of course, the Jugnu would need the Song dynasty, which he doesn't have. Obviously, would need a quite a bit more food and gold to do that and achieve that. But a good positioning for the outpost. Good thing for the Holy Roman Empire. This is going to be a hard position to push. Of course, with emergency repairs being a thing. Archer's going to try and get some value, but might lose a little bit of health. Might lose it entirely. No, he manages to get out of there in the end. And does secure a little bit more resources on the map for BLB. Going to have to play this slowly, methodically, for sure. On the back of this, there's going to be a blacksmith going up. Maybe to have that feudal age aggression. Looks like Arakan senses he's got a bit of a timing window. Does have a second imperial official looking to supervise things. And I'll take a look at that. The first thing he goes for is siege engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be expecting to see some rams on the field. And he does have a good amount of wood income coming in as well. 350 per second almost. But a crazy Barbican drop to start us off on Micro Arabia. Getting another outpost. We talked about how it's going to be slow and methodical. He should get this up in the end. So it does look decent there for BLB to get that gold. Arakan going to have to try and pressurize this area. Was a bit too late to punish it fully. Does have 2 archers, but villagers do achieve their goal of getting that outpost, going the deer pack again as well. He's going to have these little pocket economies with the micro extensions of the static defenses of the outposts. But everything heating up very, very fast on this Micro Arabia map. Arakan looking to still get those archers out. Now I do wonder where BLB goes from here. He's going to need to get some units and fast. Does have a barrack, so could potentially go for man-at-arms. I think that's got to be the play. Other thing for the Chinese is that they're going to struggle against the man-at-arms. Of course, one of the 2 civilizations to get man-at-arms in the feudal age. But something that actually is quite nice for the Holy Roman Empire, going up against the archers. Now, Jugnu is a bit of a slightly different beast. Jugnus can do really well against man-at-arms. Archers with steeled arrow could do a bit of damage, but, you know, if BLB manages to mass this up of those man-at-arms, that could push that back quite nice. He's going to go for stable as well, so he's going to have the horseman counter. That's something that Arakan's going to have to deal with. Doesn't have a huge, like, direct counter to having those man-at-arms coming out for the Holy Roman Empire. He's going to go for the deer pack, as you'd expect, expanding his economy on the west side of the map. I say west side, I mean, it's all within... I mean, it's pretty much just 2 screens away. Just there's 1 screen and, yeah, 1.5 screens away from each other they are on this crazy map. Mr. Merlin, what have you done to us? But it's fantastically fun to watch. Wonder how fantastically fun it is to play. Speaking of which, if you guys want to have your games casted on the Micromap series, do let me know. Drop me a message on Discord telling me your in-game name and I'll check it out and I'll probably cast it because I'm excited about this series of having these maps being played out. I think it just freshens things up. Also, a big shout out to Mr. Merlin for doing this. I have to say, it's such a great idea and he's going to be, I don't know, at least for me, rejuvenating Age of Empires casting, I think, because this is certainly different from what we'd normally expect. And I think keeping things different and fresh is certainly a good way to be. But keeping things fresh, well, it looks like the Chinese are going to go for the Imperial Academy, getting those Jugnus, so nothing's changed on that front. They do love that unit, the Chinese players often. I say Chinese players, I mean the faction rather than the nationality, as we do see those man-at-arms going to diving in on those archers. With the outpost as well, it does look like Arakan's going to struggle to push this. The ram is being torched down, and it does feel like now this is where the pressure is going to be difficult to pile on for Arakan. It's going to hang on a minute. It does have emergency repairs still on cooldown, so it does manage to keep it alive just about. Which is actually pretty huge for BLB. You could obviously just replace that, but it's still nice. Equal villagers, but don't forget BLB probably has the better economy because of the fact of the Ark and Chapel and the 40% gathering speed on these villagers as we head into the 10-minute mark of the game. And I love the fact that you have so much early aggression. I wonder whether either player blinks and goes to Castle Age, whether it continues the feudal age affair. And I don't know if there's a scout there for BLB. I hope I have the right hotkeys. In fact, yeah, we do. We do still have the hotkeys figured out. It's been a while since I've casted Age of Empires 4, but I haven't lost my touch, of course. No scout there for BLB, so he doesn't quite know what's happening. It's a bit of a danger for him. I guess he's probably operating on the basis that he's going to be pushed hard. Maybe think about going to Castle Age behind that as long as he's got some defensive units. It does have Horsemen and Man-at-Arms. This is the concern for Arakan. Man-at-Arms is kind of almost the difference maker here, you feel. The only way through them would be with the Juganu. She doesn't seem to be going for wheelbarrow, going for the eco approach for now. Maybe looking to eye up that Castle Age, it seems. I could even go with the siege landmark coming out from that. That would be pretty good. The clock tower. We see more outposts going there. And this is great for BLB. Securing another wood line. This is an important situation. I think that a lot of this is achieved by the Man-at-Arms, it has to be said. Because Arakan can't really fight it. Not with that number. Does have a couple of spears against the horsemen. That could be a problem for him. But how does he find a counter for the Man-at-Arms in this age? The feudal age? I don't think he does. He's continuing to expand his economy in the feudal age, though, it seems. Going further forward with his army. Can he get any value? But the outposts offering a lot of protection. And you can see getting those arrow slits upgrades is so helpful. Going to garrison the villages inside. Again, it's not something that Arakan can push. Doesn't have the wood income to get those rams. So it looks like Arakan's going to be trying hard on the pressure. That is often the dynamic, actually, against the Holy Roman Empire. You always feel like you're on a timer. The Holy Roman Empire, going up against them, you just always feel like you have to do damage. You always have to pile on pressure. And it's tough on a map like this, because whilst you feel like, the distance to travel against each other is very minimal. So reinforcements can come in very quickly. The trouble is that the resources are in pockets. And everything's so close to each other that I guess, the Man-at-Arms, the one thing that they don't have going for them is the mobility. But the trouble is when you've got so little distance to cover between your economies, well, they can do that. And so that's something to consider about the dynamic of these micro maps. Actual movement, kind of speed that the units have, it kind of nullifies that a little bit. One thing you can find as a trap for going full infantry is getting your army out of position. Against cavalry, they can kind of surround you and cut you off from retreating. But not so much on micro maps, because they can just retreat to the nearest save point, nearest outpost, which will be not too far away for sure. Do you see the farming transition coming out? All underneath the TC and within the range of the Ark and Chapel influence. So that food income is going to be looking very good for BLB. It looks like BLB is going to go for the Castle Age. He's heading towards that position with the resources. Getting the Iron Undermesh upgrade as well, which would be fantastic. He'll be able to take great fights with his Man-at-Arms. He's not concerned at all. There's the Castle Age landmark coming up. Arakan, though, trying to get the astronomical clock tower. Will he get it in time? The trouble is he's got Man-at-Arms he's facing up against with Iron Undermesh. You can see how tanky that these dudes are. He's going to need some crossbows. He's going to need it fast because Man-at-Arms diving in takes out an Imperial official. And he's going to be in trouble here, Arakan, unless he gets those units out fast. He does have an archery range, but nothing supervising it just yet. And that was a clutch play to take out the Imperial official. Does still have one more. Could do well to try and supervise it. The trouble is for Arakan, he's losing food income. A lot of these villagers have to garrison inside. Now the Man-at-Arms getting good value. BLB, I'm sure, is going to go to the Castle Age himself. He's going to go with the Burgrave. Oh no, he's not. He's going to go with the Regners. I thought for a second he was going to go with the Burgrave, but he feels confident that he can. Well, he's already got 2 barracks already, to be fair. If he does get this relic, which is right next to it, it's going to be a huge amount of gold income. And don't forget, actually, with gold relatively scarce, well, with everything relatively scarce, that's actually pretty huge, and he can actually train prelates there, get the sacred site. He's looking in a strong position. Looking to get the ball though now, it seems. He wants that food income, and can't blame him. Does have a palace guard or 2. Does have the benefit of getting to that Castle Age first. Gonna get a ram out. Now that will be a clock tower out, which will be quite nice for him. Gonna push forward now a little bit. There's the Castle Age coming in for BLB, and now the trouble is, how does Arakan do damage? Now, this is going to be Castle Age Man-at-Arms too. Not taking the fight just yet. As you can see, he's getting marching drills, which will increase the movement speed. Obviously making those Man-at-Arms even better on the micro map. He's going to get the upgrade to Castle Age Man-at-Arms as well. It's looking a tricky situation for Arakan, but playing it very nicely and aggressively. And come forward now with the clock tower battering ram. Has a couple of crossbows as well. There we are. There's the relic coming in for BLB. The first of perhaps 2 or 3. We will have to see. Yeah, it does look like siege is going to be an issue. He needs siege, Arakan, at this point to try and break through. The trouble is, it's easy saying what he needs. How does he do that though? How does he fund it? Gonna get some villager kills. Nicely done. He's got a good villager lead, but the man-at-arms going to dive in. Palace Guard's going to be the meat shields with a couple of crossbows behind the sacred site. Uh-oh, villagers coming out with the torches. Will it be enough? I think the good thing for BLB is the man-at-arms are staying alive. They're so tanky. It doesn't have the second archer upgrade yet. Or the PS armor upgrade. A couple of knights as well. Going to be doing good value against those archers. Just sweeping them up now. Whatever was left behind. They were feud lage archers. Knights do go down. Man-at-arms still tanking. And they're actually going to push this back. Palace Guards aren't quite cutting it. Wonder if heavy maces came in, because that could be really good for BLB, and I'm not sure it matters anymore. It's going to dive in on the villagers. Getting the sacred site as well. Is actually Arakan got the presence of mind to do that. Got the relic of his own. Everything's so close to each other. He's getting that gold income coming in as well. The man-at-arms diving on the villagers. Arakan still has a villager lead after all of this. By about 2, but I'm not sure he knows it. He's probably feeling quite bad about himself right now in terms of how much he's losing. The Palace Guards do take care of that in the end, and one of the benefits is the supervision of the barracks. There's a sacred site. First of them captured. Second. In fact, there's only two sacred sites on this map. Thought there were 3, but there's actually 2. Arakan still smells blood. There's the market. Wants to balance his economy here. BLB a little bit, I think. Now, BLB, does he have an opportunity to push this, or does he just buy himself some time? There's a knight on the back of the base. Ooh, looking to get some scouting information, maybe on the left side. It's going to be meeting that wooden wall, the palisade wall. Won't be able to get through at all. I love how you don't have to pan anywhere on the screen on the map to see where the action is. You can't really miss it. There's so much happening on this map. Absolutely love it. Another outpost. Going to be an outpost creep. The trouble is for Arakan as well, these outposts are so difficult to take care of with the emergency repairs. It's kind of irritating. It's one of those things about the HRE that I really hate, actually. I have to say, going up against them. You can see a wealth of eco upgrades coming in now for Arakan. Knight does snipe a villager quite nicely. The knight just takes so much damage against even the Barbican, fully packed with villagers. Takes out another villager. Villager lead is dwindling. It's actually relatively similar now. But Arakan's certainly doing a better job at killing villagers. Killed 18 versus 10. Maybe Arakan had some idle time. Not entirely sure what happened with that, but we do see outposts with spring replacements. That's got to be painful. Do we see a trebuchet? That is what we do see. A clock tower counterweight trebuchet there for the Chinese. Again, an emergency repairs with a relic inside as well. Holy smokes. HRE looks strong on this map. You see the market being used as well by BLB. How do you push this if you're Arakan? It's holding on for now, but the question is for how long. Sacred site on the east now being captured by BLB. Looks like he's going to get a group of man-at-arms and knights, heavily armoured units for BLB. It's got to be crossbows. That's got to be the answer for Arakan. And slowly try and trap things down, but as you can see now, with this fortified, with the relic, these are so difficult to get through. And I guess it could come down to who loses out on resources first. But this micromap mayhem is exactly that. Absolute mayhem. Wheelbarrow coming in for BLB now. Guess better late than never. Of course, the Holy Roman Empire getting that 40% gathering buff for the prelate is super strong. A couple of villagers here. I'm not sure if there is a prelate there. Fortunately, on the user interface, I can't actually zoom in. They do have a glow around them though, so quite possibly. Can't see a prelate dancing around, but here comes a second trebuchet now. Will this be enough? God, this is absolutely crazy. Gives it an extra 1,000 hit points. It's more than double, actually. Just by the virtue of having a relic. And I guess if you're BLB, maybe diving on those trebuchets could be a thing. Could be looking to get a Springwall or 2 if he gets a Siege Workshop. He doesn't have one just yet. Looks like Arakan sensed some blood on the left side. Send some units there. just to see what's up. But does see a couple of knights. Does now have a third trebuchet. That's actually pretty expensive. You know, you don't have all that many resources. So he's invested in a lot of siege. Looks like Arakan wants to be piling on the pressure. Does take out that fortified outpost, which is like, oh, well, holy moly. Okay, he's going for a keep. That's kind of crazy there for BL. Oh no. Oh no. This happens. This actually... Wait. Arakan. He's got a window of opportunity. Shoot the keep. Oh no. He's too close. I think he got within the minimum range of the trebuchets and they couldn't fire. Now he's trying to fire off, but BLB is going to send his troops in. Going to snipe out the trebuchets, and they do go down. That's 3 trebuchets. That could be GG, because guess what's going to happen next? The prelate is going to bring a relic inside this keep, and this is going to be impenetrable, and any trebuchet that comes out of the astronomical clock tower just will not make it. Villagers coming in. BLB, he feels that this is his window of opportunity, his win condition. Maybe the Barbican and Sun will be next, but the relic coming in now. Take a look at this. 5,000 HP on this keep without the relic. With the relic, let's just see what it does. Oh, that's a bit anticlimactic. It didn't show it. I could have sworn it increases the health. In any case, the relic is inside and it's doing a heck of a lot of damage. Okay, it doesn't increase the HP, which is kind of understandable. It increases the armor and everything else, which is absolutely insane. And now Arakan going to try and take it down with the Solitude Ram. It's not going to work. BLB raiding the economy with the Man-at-Arms, a couple of Lance Connector and Knights. Within the back of the base, he's broken through. And he's going to go for the farms as well. Looks like it's going to be curtains for the Chinese and Arakan, but he played his heart out on Micro Arabia. Villagers coming down to torch everything else that's there. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is the HRE on Micro Arabia. What a crazy match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, let me know in the comment section below. Should I come back to casting Age of Empires 4? I think I will. I think I have to on the basis of this. Take care, guys, and see you next time.